Good morning, all. Myself is Vigneshwari, Assistant Professor in the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering from SNS College of Technology, Coimbatore. So, today we are going to learn about instruction format from the subject Microprocessors and Microcontrollers. So, this comes under the unit 8085 microprocessor and 8086 microprocessor. So, let's begin our discussion. So before moving into the topic, let's recall about what are all the command and the instruction we've seen in the. Let us have a discussion about the instruction format and how the operands are being used here. So these are the topics for today's discussion. What is the need for instruction, instruction format, operation code and instruction types. So first, the need for instruction. Say for example, a microprocessor, it is a device that cannot think or make a decision on its own. It only performs the task based on the commands provided by the programmer. So what the programmer provides, only based on that, it is able to take forward the instructions ahead. So these commands, what we are giving is known as this instruction. For example, the processor may be instructed to add to number or move from one location to another the data, compare the values, store the data in the memory, and jump to another section of the program. So without instruction, the processor is simply a collection of circuits, electronic circuits. So instruction here, it acts as a language through which we could communicate with the processor effectively. So every program, whether it is a calculator application or an operating system, whatever it is ultimately converted into a sequence of the machine instruction. Now let us say about what is that instruction format, right? So you people know how the instructions will be proceeded, right? So instruction format refers to the structure or an arrangement of the bits within the given set of instructions. Think about sending a postal letter. How do we send a letter? Through the recipient address, you will be providing the sender address as well as the message. If these details are not arranged properly, and the letter cannot reach the correct destination. Similarly, the processor, it expects every instruction to follow a particular format. What the operation must be performed, where the data is located, where the result should be stored. So the instruction format provides a systematic way for the processor to interpret the instructions correctly, right? So next we'll see about what are all the operation code. So this is the basic component of the instruction format, we could say. So every instruction, it comprises of a opcode, which we say as an operation code. Opcode stands for operation code. It tells the processor what the actions need to be performed. And examples of such simple opcode includes operations add, sub, move, INC, DEC. So INC refers to increment and DEC refers to decrement. For example, move A comma B if we are providing. Here MOV is the opcode. It tells the processor to move the data. So think the opcode as a verb in an English sentences similar to run, write, read, all these things, right? And first thing is an opcode, and what about the second thing? It is the operand, right? So we'll see about what is the operand. So operand specifies the data or the location where the operation is to be performed. For example, move A comma B, where move is the opcode and A comma B refers to the operands. The processor understands that the data must be transferred from the register A and should be loaded into the register from B to A. Similarly, add A comma C. Here A and C are the operands, right? So it adds the value of C along with the A and stores the result in the A. Now let us discuss about what is the instruction format. So how do we write the instruction? So how it has a format as such we are going to see. So basically the instructions, it requires no additional data or address is being required for 1 byte instruction, and it contains only the opcode. For example, CMA, RLC, all these instructions refers to 1 byte instruction. Execution will be usually very fast. Next is the 2 byte instruction. It contains 1 byte for opcode and 1 byte for data or address. And 3 byte instruction, it contains 1 byte opcode and 2 byte address and data. For example, LXI2H2050, where LXI is the opcode and the location is the 16-bit value. And next we'll see about how the instruction format is being proceeded here and what are all the instruction types we have seen. So 1 byte instruction, 2 byte and 3 byte instruction types. So let's come to the end of the session. We'll have a quick recall over what are all the topics we have seen. So I've seen about opcode field, addressing mode field, register field, displacement field and the immediate data field, right? Suppose, for example, in real life analogy, suppose your teacher says, submit your assignment for the student A. Submit is the action which is an output, and student A, an assignment or the objects being involved. So the instructions are the commands given to the processor, and it consists of mainly opcode and operand. And then 8085, it has 1 byte, 2 byte, and 3 byte instruction. So thank you for watching my session, right? So kindly follow my previous videos also to have a basic idea about what is 8086 microprocessor and the addressing modes. So these are the set of references being used and a simple quiz based on this discussion today. Thank you.